Today I'm gonna build the Ender Dragon out of Lego. It's gonna have light up eyes and even sound effects. So I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Also, shout out to everyone who recommended this idea in the comments because there were a lot of recommendations. So step one, we need to get the dimensions for this thing. If we go with the dimensions we usually do, where we make 1 pixel equal to 1 brick and 2 plates, this thing would need to be 264 2x2 bricks long. So we're just gonna scale it down halfway. So for every 2 pixels on the model, we're just gonna use 1 of these, which means we're gonna need a lot of these. We can start by building the head. So the base for the head is going to be 8x8. Basically just a big cube for the head and then upper jaw and a lower jaw. And then there's like spikes on top. And we're actually gonna make the eyes light up. First layer done. We literally just have to keep building. So to actually attach the jaw to the front of this, I'm gonna add some joints in here just so we can actually bend it later. Here are some joints. So let's grab 2 of these. And then what I'm simply gonna do is just add this in here, just like that. We just lock it together with a couple of these pieces. And then I'm just gonna take the same thing right up here. Now we have some beautiful lips. As you can see, it will open like this. Nice. Except it's breaking. That's another thing we're gonna have to worry about. If we build up a bunch of pillars with these pixels that are not connected, this thing's gonna be super flimsy and fall apart. So I built a bunch of longer ones, which are the same dimensions tall. You can actually lock them together on these. We'll just combine these with the single pixels and then everything should lock together good. Now we just need to add the eyes on the front. So to make the eyes light up, we have this battery box and these Lego power functions light. And as you can see, it lights up like this. So now if we put this inside the head, we can feed these wires right behind the eyes. And now the eyes light up. For the front of the eyes, we're just gonna use pink. The eyes are pink for some reason. And we can actually make a simple little mechanism here so that we can turn this on and off from the top. And now we have a little button on top. Cool. And then for the mouth, we just need to build up something that is 2 high, 6 wide, and 7 long. Cool, and now we basically have the bottom jaw. Now we just need to build the top jaw. There's some color on the inside of the mouth on the actual model, but I'm not gonna add that because I'm cheap. That does actually look pretty fire though. So now we have the head completed. The next step, we're gonna build the torso because everything kind of attaches to that. So now I just need to make a bunch more pixels because honestly, I don't think this is gonna be enough. Let me just quickly give you a sense of scale for the torso. It's 32 pixels long, and 12 wide. And then it needs to be 12 bricks tall. Other than locking the base together, there's not a lot we need to actually do. First, let's start with a simple layer of black to lock this all together. And now I'm gonna take Technic bricks and go all the way around the base of this and connect them so that we have a stronger foundation. That's a lot stronger now. Now we gotta keep building until we get to the place where we can attach the legs. So to make the legs actually hinge on the body, I have an idea for how we can make that work. We just need a special piece that's over there. So right here, we have some of these pieces. And I think these are just right because if we just find a way to attach them like that, I think that should work pretty well. We attach like a piece like this, that can actually stick on the stud. That way we can kind of merge the Technic with the bricks and the studs we already have. Oh, thing's not trot in there. This thing's pretty strong. We've got to really add a lot of these long pieces around the joint. That's not going anywhere. Now we just got to install 3 more for the other 3 legs before we can finally figure out how we're gonna make the wings flap, which I still don't know how we're gonna do, but. Okay, so I just got this other brace in here. As you can see, it is very strong. I used diagonal shapes because triangles, you know. Over here, as you can see, this will hold the tail, and this side, this will hold the head, which is perfect. As you can see, I left these gaps here in the sides for the little lift arms to come out and actually move the wings. So the next step is to build a mechanism that's capable of doing it. And I have an idea for that, I just haven't tested it or anything yet, so let's see. For the wing mechanism, my idea is we make a worm drive using a worm gear. And to motorize this, I'm just gonna use some simple power functions motors. We grab, say, this thing, and we attach it somewhere, say, I actually don't know what I'm doing. And boom, we have motion. Is it the right kind of motion? No. So honestly, I have no idea if these wings are gonna work. But before I can say that for sure, we actually need to build the wings. I was going to do this later, but it seems like a good idea to do it now. Each wing is going to be 112 studs long and 56 studs wide. per wing. So I had to order some parts. Luckily though, this video sponsor, Krazy Bricklink store, had me covered, and I was able to get the parts that I need. Hopefully this will be enough. So as you can see here, I got a lot of long, light bluish gray plates. I also got some black plates that are 6x6 to create the wing shape. Krazy is a Bricklink store that sells new and used Lego parts, and if you guys want to check them out to increase your Lego collection or just get a specific piece you need, click the first link in the description. They're super awesome. Let me lay these out. So since these wings are so big, I'm thinking if we build it upside down, then we can lock it together from the bottom and just simply lift it up. We need to create this shape on this. So if we go, okay, so now we have the entire outline of the wing, almost at the bat wing, laid out. Now we just have to fill it in with a ton of black plates. So I just got this all filled in with black. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these pieces, which have like the slimmest profiles, and snap together all the edges. That way when I hammer on all the inside pieces, it won't break apart everything and move everything around. To make this hinge, all I'm gonna do is just add a couple of these little hinges all the way across this, and then add some pieces to lock them in. Cool, and now it should hinge. And now we have a hinging dragon wing. And as you can see, we can prop it up like this and it holds together. That is really impressive, honestly. I didn't think that. So now to make the design on top of this, we're simply gonna use some tiles. This is going to be semi-difficult. Just goes like this. Basically, we're just creating the ribs of the dragon wing to make it look more realistic. We just have to do one across here, another here, and then one right here. I got my little iPad right here, and I'm just crossing out the lines as I do them so I don't lose track. So like right here, you know, there's a 3 right there. And next to that, below that, there's a 4, like that. I'm also going between tiles and plates so that I have enough pieces to actually get this done, because we have to do this again on the other wing. And then we have to build the thing in the front of the wing. So I really don't want to run out of pieces, basically. So these are our wings. These are gonna go on both sides of the dragon. So this is how big it's going to be. Now we need to build the wing tips, so the parts that go up here. The wing tips are just gonna snap right onto the end here. So we need this big one to go right here, and the little one should be just about that size, actually. And then to actually connect the wing to the body, we'll just add a little hinge using Technic pieces on the end of this wing tip. Snap this onto here. And now we want to do a plate layer on top of this. Okay, so we got the first wing done. I'm just gonna take a measurement so that I can get the precise scale. That is 62 studs right there. And then for this one, 51. Cool, and now we know how big that's gonna be. We can take this and put it over here. Just look how giant that is. And here's the body, which is still being worked on. So now we just gotta build the other one. So now I'm just putting a couple 6x6 tiles on the wing to make it just look a little bit smoother. So now to install the wings. So it's pretty clear now that the mechanism I put in place for the wings to flap is not going to work. So if we attach these here, I didn't think this through. Okay, if I just, hold this up here for a sec. We just gotta figure out how to mount this using Technic. It may take a bit. Okay, so I did a little bit of rebuilding. To hold up these arms, I'm gonna have to resort to using a Metal Technic Lego axle from Metal Technic Parts. Okay, so yet again, I need to move these top connectors over here so we can balance this better, probably in the middle of the wing, but it will work. Now we'll just do the same thing on the other side and connect it using the same Technic parts and the metal beam, and we should have the wings done. In the meantime though, we can move on to building the tail and the neck. The neck and the tail are built out of these block pieces, which each have a spike on them. The neck is made of 5 of these, and the tail is made of 12. So basically we need to build 17 of these blocks, and find a way to attach them so that they can hinge up and down and sideways. We could probably just use ball joints, honestly. If we hinge these using ball joints like this, they don't really need to hold their position because we're not gonna have to like pose it up or anything. They just need to be
positionable.
So that's 5 by 5. We need a few more brick layers above this first before we can add those because we want them to be in the very center, but that should work. So now we just have to build these up to be actual boxes. This is going good. I'm just so tired of pushing down bricks. My fingers are so sore. But we can do this. We just have to build this, and then we have to build the legs. So satisfying. Now we have the tail all built up, and as you can see, the tail is movable, as you can tell. Can't ask for more, can't ask for better. You could, but I would say no. So we can attach this to the body. The last thing we need to build is the legs. It's already super ginormous, so who knows how big this is gonna be after this. Now each leg is made up of 3 different pieces that are distinctly different sizes and have to fit together something like this. And for the front leg, we have kind of the same thing except they're smaller pieces. But we do need to attach them to the connections we built on here. And for that, I had this idea. If this is our piece here, we want to use something like this and put axles into it, like that, and we can simply slide the legs on. Lock that together, and since the pressure on this is gonna be pushing it up, we shouldn't have any issues. So that should just hook right onto there. To attach this to our leg, all we gotta do is add a few of these pieces. Nice. Now that should attach pretty firmly into our leg. Now, we just gotta build the leg. And the legs are pretty much all black, so we really don't have to worry about any color. We're gonna pop off the bottom, and then these will fit in these at an angle. So we just need to add some Technic bricks on the inside so we can actually connect those. If we add this, and we match this up, lock that in place. That should work, right? Cool, so now we have the shin connected to the thigh. To make the sound effects for this work, I have a speaker. This is just a speaker I've been using. I put it in here, and then we seal it in. And then we just gotta plug this into our iPhone and play sound effects. And hopefully it should be pretty loud, even with it sealed up in here. All right, let's try that. Hey. So all we gotta do is charge it. That's actually pretty loud. So all we gotta do is charge it, put it in there, and then we just plug in our phone like this, and we should be good to go. And the final thing we have to do is assemble it all. This is what it looks like unassembled. We just have to put all the pieces together, and this project will be completely finished. I'm super nervous to do this. Let's do this. Now it's time for the wings. Oh no. Here it is, the Lego Ender Dragon, complete with light up eyes and sound effects, which I'm gonna turn on in just a second, but check this out, the detail is just incredible. This Ender Dragon turned out ginormous. Literally, if I were to build this at the regular scale, pixel for pixel, it would be double this size, so it wouldn't even fit in this room. This is just so cool. I was a little worried putting on the wings, but that turned out to work okay. It's a little flimsy, so I'm hoping it'll hold up, but it works. You can see the legs are back here, it's in a flying position. I also used some clear pieces to hold up the tail. Alright, looks like it's almost 94 inches, so that's like 7 foot 10 inches. Wow. I had no idea how big it would be when I started designing it. Like, I thought it would be big, but not this big. Check it out. Isn't that big?
That's awesome. That is so cool, Riley. So how many hours did it take you to do that?
About 18 and a half hours. And it has sound effects. I'm about to put the speaker in. All we gotta do is turn on our speaker, open up this little section I kind of left open, and we start playing the noises. Sounds like it's flapping its wings and, you know, roaring. Human to dragon scale here, you can see just how huge this thing is. Huge thank you guys for watching. Make sure you check out one of these videos, pop it up on your screen, and I'll talk to you in the next Brick Science. See ya.